If you're listening about a Kenku, a Tiefling, and a Bugbear having no damn clue what they're doing, then you're listening to Not So Super Dungeon Bros.
Hello everyone and welcome to the second podcast of Not So Super Dungeon Bros. We have a great show for you today, and we're going to start this off with a recap. And how we're going to do this is we're going to have the heroes roll initiative, and then they will describe what happened in the previous episode. So go ahead and roll.
Okay, I got a 6.
Lowest initiative goes.
20.
Oh, I got a 4 with the nat 1.
All right, let's hear it.
So it's just, you just want me to give a recap of the previous episode?
Yeah, just just so our listeners can kind of refresh their memory, since some of them it might have been a week since they heard the last one.
Alrighty, here we go. I'll use my announcer voice. Last time on Not So Super Dungeon Bros, our brave heroes gathered round a campfire and ate a delicious meal prepared by the most amazing Kenku monk that anybody has ever met, Hungry Rooster. And shortly thereafter, the camp was besieged by hungry, starving jackalopes that were just trying to feed their family. So what did our adventurers do? They chased them down into the woods and slaughtered them. Every last one of them. And they would have eaten them too, except for some dumb tiefling decided to burn all of them to a crisp before they had a chance to do so. But,
hey, one of them got away.
And some
one of
children,
them got let
fortunately.
loose.
This was
anyway, hey, I'm telling that this is my time. I have the talking
Please
stick. So
proceed,
everybody
Hungry Rooster.
Shut up. Alrighty, thank you. So, man, you guys messed me up. Now I don't even remember where I was. Yeah, we slaughtered them mercilessly. That's right. And, but in our defense, they had stolen quite a bit of supplies and food from my chuck wagon and, other such things from our camp that we were able to return to our camp, to the different parties in the camp, the miners, myself as the cook. I think there was some carpenter stuff. I don't really remember what it was. I was just sad that I didn't get to eat a jackalope. But I did find a new recipe for my cookbook for carrot soup. So I am currently learning that. And we were invited to Zane Sornstone's party, he's the head of security, a half-orc head of security, so now we're buddies with him, and Christiana, who is a cleric archaeologist, one of the 4 archaeologists that we are with, and I believe we're now at the point where we're setting off to actually go on the archaeological dig or something like that. I'll turn it back over to Jake for that.
All right, great job. So I'm Jake Talbot. With me are my brothers Danny, Thad, and Garrett. And you guys want to tell what characters you're playing?
Sure. I'm Thad, and I'm playing Ezekiel Carrion, the Tiefling Warlock.
Also known as Zeke.
Yes.
I'm Danny Talbot, and I'm playing Barb, also known as Barbara, but don't call him Barbara.
That's a long name.
Yeah.
I'm Garrett, and I will be playing Hungry Rooster, the Kenku monk, who's also an excellent chef.
Claims to be.
We'll no, I had his carrot soup. It was wonderful.
All right, let's let the story begin. The sun rises over a bustling camp. The caravan had reached the base of Blackstone Mountains at dusk the day prior. After a night's rest, workers are busily setting up structures for temporary lodging and workspaces. We see 4 parties heading towards the mountains. This portion of the Blackstone Mountain range is unique in that after the convergence, the white jagged stone of the Carceri Plain has been crushed and twisted together, forming a very steep mountainside. Yet there is enough of a slope for a switchbacking path to the top. Additionally, there are 2 canyon pathways about 5 feet apart and a cave that seems to dip under the mountains forebodingly. The party separate, each taking on the paths. Our heroes, accompanied by Zane Stonesworn and Christiana Lucroy, begin climbing the steep, winding path up the mountain. About halfway up, you encounter a small area where the path widens a little, shaded by an old gnarled oak tree. The area is tranquil and provides a great view of the camp below, the Blackstone Plains, and beyond. Zane ordered the company to a halt, as this will be a nice place to catch your breaths. Christiana seeks shelter sitting on a large boulder underneath the tree's shade. You look out over the scene and see the camp like tiny ants going about their work. So now is the time you guys can talk to each other or just discuss things at length.
So who all is in the party? I know we've got Zane and Christiana and us 3, but are there other like? It. Oh, it's the 5 of us.
Yep,
okay,
it's the 5 of you.
Okay.
So these 4 parties that took off, they're small parties, just to kind of search out areas before they send in, the miners and whatnot to do the rest of the work.
Okay. So we're just chilling for a little bit, right?
Yep. So Christiana's, is taking a load off, sitting on a tree, and Zane's kind of just looking out over the edge, watching the camp.
I'm gonna kind of pull aside Barb for a minute and just. So, if things do go south, let's stick together, you and me, yes?
Of course.
All right. Maybe we could bring the bird in as well. He seems to be capable.
He makes damn good carrot cake. Soup. Cake.
Yes, his soup is excellent. Ooh, we should try to get him to make carrot cake.
At that, I perk up and I kind of, waddle over to them, and I'm just standing there listening to their conversation up close instead of far away.
No, hey there. What is your name, by the way? I don't know if I ever did get it.
I just crow like a rooster.
I kind of shake my head and just wriggle my ears a little bit. All right then. I don't even know what to do after that.
Do remember, you guys have been on the road for a couple weeks together, so.
Okay, yeah. So I think we kind of understand that he can only mimic.
You're kind of used to the fact that he doesn't say much.
I don't think Ezekiel does know his name still well. Just calls him Bird.
That's fair enough.
All right. How much further to the peak? Are we?
Halfway. He said halfway.
Oh,
yeah.
Good.
I think that's the main thing that we would do is just interact. It's kind of the beginning of what will become a friendship between all of us.
Okay.
So just kind of.
Do you want to go talk to Zane or anybody, or are you just talking amongst yourself and kind of building that relationship?
Yeah, I actually would like to go talk to Zane, who is that the.
That's the
Zane
the half
is
orc. Yeah.
The half orc.
Head of security, dude.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. I would basically just start a conversation with him about what exactly we're mining. I mean, because as of now, I don't know if it's...
Go ask him.
Okay, I'm going. That's me walking.
Oh, I thought it was your blinker.
Oh, I thought it was...
You're going over to him.
Hey, Zane. I was just wondering what exactly work we'll be mining. Is it going to be copper or gold, or what exactly are we looking for this time?
We are looking for a religious artifact. This artifact should be quite large. We know that it is a black color, not quite like these mountains. The mountain range is grayish black, and he's like this obelisk type structure is of a black glass nature, but we have not really seen it, and we only know from writings of its existence.
Is it worth a lot of money?
It is invaluable.
Cool.
What is the nature of this obelisk? What is its purpose?
It has religious significance that is important to the Mages College.
I wonder what they desire it for.
And I'm just content with what he told me. I just happily walk away.
I walk up to Christiana and I tug on her sleeve and point at the conversation, trying to get her to add to it since she's the archaeologist.
She was saying a ways away. I don't know if she really heard what they're talking about.
Okay, well, I drag her back to the circle so that she can answer our questions.
Okay, little one. Okay, just a moment. And she goes over there and she's like, the archaeological dig is important to the Mage College. We are all follows of Solinari. You can be rest assured that we will not be using this knowledge for an evil purpose. I assure you that I would not be part of this if I thought there was any evil intentions with this mission.
Shame. It takes the fun out of it. And Ezekiel just walks over away with Barb. He's just gonna go chill and maybe lay down in the shade or something. Wait till we're ready to move out.
I'm standing there fumbling. I don't know how to describe this, but fumbling over my hand gestures trying to communicate. And I don't feel like anybody can understand me. So I kind of just put my head down dejectedly and start to walk away towards the other two guys.
All right.
As I'm laying down, I noticed a plant, which I think is like would be tasty, like some sort of food like thing. So I gesture for Rooster to come over and kind of point at it.
I perk up and I run over there.
Do a nature check.
Ooh, this is so exciting. Nature. 16.
All right, it's some ginger root. It'll be good for something that you're going to cook.
Yeah, I nod excitingly as I identify the plant, and then I pick it and put it in my bag.
Nice. Yeah, ginger seems to be kind of common, growing around near the plains and on the foothills of the mountains. You're kind of surprised to see it a little bit high up on this mountain, but there it is. Well, I believe that is a long enough rest. Are you all ready to continue?
Let's go.
All right. So you guys continue up the path, and you get about another, you're 3/4 of the way up the mountain, and you come to a switchback. Go ahead and roll perception checks.
I got a 16. Oh, dear.
I got an 8.
Barb?
I've got lost.
Skills.
Okay.
Skills.
So,
Okay.
Zeke, you notice as the path switch back, there seems to be like a kind of a worn little path that heads into these bushes, and the bushes kind of close it. And you notice on the bush, there seems to be like a tied little blue piece of fabric tied to the bush, kind of tucked away in it, not real noticeable unless you're kind of keeping a good eye.
Curious. I'll go, I'm gonna keep an eye out as I walk over that ways, but I want to go check that out.
Okay. You go and check it out, and sure enough, when you go over there and you push the bushes apart, there's a small path that sort of goes around this the side of this mountain on this cliff face, and then tucks around a corner, and you can't really see where it goes from there.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself, and then I'm gonna and kind of get everybody's attention and point out the path.
Okay. You are free to go look. If you see this black obsidian, be sure to report. For myself, I will keep Christiana company and guard the path. We shall wait for your return.
Okay,
Does
so
anyone else?
I'll
I
join-
mean, he was only
Yeah,
speaking
I'll-
for him and Christiana, so if anyone else wants to go with him,
Right.
that's fine.
I'll join Z.
I'll follow as well. Why the heck not?
Okay. So you guys headed that way then?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So as you're heading around, it's kind of scary. You get a little bit of vertigo. It's only a 2-foot wide path that's kind of carved into this mountain on this cliffside. And as you get to the corner, you turn around and there's a cave opening. Do you all have dark vision or anything?
I don't.
Yep.
I have dark vision. I
So
do.
only the bird doesn't?
Yep.
Okay. So you look in there and you can see, kind of in this blackish white color, there is a smooth stone with a symbol on it. Now this symbol,
Can I just, as I'm walking that way, I'm looking at the ground. Can I make a perception check for footprints or anything like that? Maybe
Yeah,
something going in.
go ahead
really-
and roll perception, yeah. Or actually, perception. Actually, Zeke, roll perception too to see how much you see in this cave.
Okay. I rolled 11.
11. So you don't see, you notice that the path was worn, but it looks like it hasn't been used in a very long time. And when you look into the cave, you can see this. You can see this smooth slab of stone. It almost looks like it would be a door, but there's no handles or anything. And on there is the symbol. It's a triangle with triangles on each of the corners, and in the middle a circle with a smaller circle in the center. And also included are a couple of like runes almost. What languages? Does anyone speak Dwarven?
I do not.
I don't.
Where does it show? Oh, there. Nope.
Okay. So go ahead. You guys have been around a while. Dwarven's pretty common. That it's Dwarven like Dwarven symbols, but you just don't know what they mean.
Gotcha.
I knew I should have learned that.
What did you roll on
spell.
your perception, Thad?
11
11
as well.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what you see from standing outside of the cave.
Okay, so I decide to go ahead and venture in.
Okay. Go ahead and when you go in, go ahead and roll investigation, so you can kind of scout it or check the entire area.
I'm gonna search it with him.
Okay, both of you.
I got a 1.
Okay,
Not
Barb.
in that one though.
So Barb's just like completely enthralled with this symbol on the door, and he's just staring at it, not really paying attention to anything else around him.
Oh dear. I got an 8.
You got an 8. That's good enough to notice a portion. So on the left side of this cave wall, you notice that there's this like trough kind of carved into it. So it stands about 4 feet high, and then the cave wall is carved from the 4 feet high, carved in about a foot in, and then a little trough is carved on the top of that 4-foot wall, and it goes all the way to where the door is. So if someone wants to investigate that, they can go ahead and do that.
I wanted to look at the actual entrance to the cave. Is there anything unsecure about it, I guess?
What do you mean?
Like,
Is that about ready to cave
Oh,
in?
yeah,
no,
like,
no.
Are
It
there
looks
rocks
very-
that are falling?
No, it looks very sturdy. It looks very like an older cave. It's been worn. This path is pretty worn. It looks like it was used in the past, but just not anytime recently, like not within the last 25 years or so.
Gotcha. All right, I'll go up to this trough. Is there any liquid in it or anything like that?
So you look down in it and you notice that there's some green algae, and it's damp. It's a little wet. If you look to the left side of the trough, like the furthest end towards the front of the cave, you notice that there's a hole where that leads, like, goes right to that trough. And go ahead and roll investigation.
I got a 5.
Yeah, 13.
Out of 16.
Nice.
Rooster, you notice that on the wall next to this hole is a sort of little lever. It's a little bit hidden, but you can still see it. And Zeke, you're studying this as well, and you notice at the end of the trough, like towards the door, you notice that there's holes there, but then inside of that hole are like a wooden gear with paddles on it.
I pull that lever as soon as I see it.
Okay. So he pulls the lever, and out gushes a bunch of water that goes down this trough, and it hits this gear and starts spinning it, and the door slowly lowers down.
Nice.
And
Well
also,
done, bird.
you barely saw that, Rooster, because you can't see in the dark, so I don't know if you want to light a torch if you have one or something.
Oh yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, I'll light a torch.
Yeah, so the door slides down, and you guys can go further in if you'd like.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna head in.
Okay.
Yep, me as well.
So you head in, and the first thing you notice is that right on the floor in front of you is the symbol that is carved on the top of this triangle. This sort of like, I don't know how to describe it. C, that's like just straight letters.
Gotcha. So it's just that part of the symbol,
Yeah, you
not
see,
the
not
whole
the whole
symbol?
symbol, just that symbol. And as you look in this room, there is in front of you, there's a big gap in the floor. It's huge, and it drops way down, and it's actually black. You can't see what's below it. And on the side walls, they're sloped down towards this at not a super sharp angle, but decently sharp, kind of like a irrigation ditch's walls, just like kind of that much of a slope. And it slopes down to this hole, and then that hole drops straight down. So these ditches go for about 25 feet, and then there's about 10 feet from where that ends. There's this bar hanging across the whole cave area, and beyond that is another platform with what looks like another door.
All right, I want to run down one of the side walls of the ditch and try and grab onto the bar.
Oh, okay. We're gonna roll acrobatics.
24.
24. Okay, so you run,
Nah.
and you run on the left side, then you jump over across to the right side, run on that, kind of that back and forth, keeping that momentum to keep you on the wall. And then you jump up, grab a hold of this bar, and when you grab a hold of this bar, you feel a click as the bar slowly moves down and stops as it drops down about a couple inches. Then nothing happens.
So is this
First-
bar like next to the next platform? I didn't really catch.
It's about 15 feet away from the platform, but you can swing and jump to it.
Okay, yeah, that's what I want to do.
Make an acrobatics roll.
16.
So you swing from the bar and land on this platform. And as you land on this platform, you feel this tile underneath you push down, and you hear a click. And then all of a sudden, the door begins to raise up in front of you. And it raises up, and then you hear click, 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 click. And then, boom, the door comes slamming back down.
So the door that we came through goes up?
So the door that was in front of you, when you landed on this pressure plate, lowered the door. But then after, a few seconds, it slammed back up. Go ahead and give me a perception check as well.
21.
So you also notice that behind you, the bar is popped back up to its original position.
Huh, okay. So was there a floor to the irrigation ditches or not?
So the path, where like the entrance of the cave meets right up with those sloping walls, and then there's no floor in between that.
And then do those sloping walls go straight to the door that went down?
No, so they stop at a point. That's why you had to jump to the bar and then swing from the bar to the platform.
And then the platform leads to the door.
So it's like a long hallway, and you got these slopes on two sides, and then they end like 20 feet away from the platform. So you have to jump, catch the bar, and then swing to the platform.
So I wave my torch. I turn around and look for the guys, and I wave my torch and gesture to them to come.
Okay, I start rummaging through my pack, and I found my. It doesn't say, but how long is my hempen rope?
It's 50 feet,
I think it's
believe.
50 feet, yeah.
50 feet. How far away is that bar? Like if I was to get all the way to the edge of where that starts to slope.
So I said it was about 25 feet and then a 10-foot jump, so it's about 35 feet away. But I mean,
Okay.
if your plan is to swing the rope to the bar, you'd have to find something to tie to the end of the rope.
Right. I'm gonna keep looking through my bag for something maybe I can tie on the end and kind of like lasso the pole.
As I see Barb pull the rope out of his pack, I kind of like do a face palm and I go through my pack and grab my rope and I tie it to the platform and directly underneath the platform they can't get to, right? They have to get to where the bar is.
Yeah.
And so
there's nothing for you to tie off on the platform that you're on.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So it's like smooth stone floor with this pressure plate like cobblestone or like, stone.
So can I jump back over to the
Yep.
to the bar?
Yep.
Well, first I want to step on the pressure plate again.
Okay, it just clink, makes no sound, nothing happens.
Okay. All right, I'm going to jump back to the bar with my rope. I kind of take my pack off and set my torch so that it's standing up, not going to catch anything on fire, and then I want to jump back to the bar and tie my rope off.
Okay. Go ahead
Is that
and roll
acrobatics again?
Acrobatics again.
19.
Okay, yep, you're able to do that. You jump over, you grab hold of the bar, and you hear a clunk as the bar drops down a little bit.
Okay, and then I tie my rope off, and I'm kind of just perched on top of this bar, and I'm signaling again for the guys to run to me.
Hey, just as a perception check, when he grabbed that bar and pulled it down, did it cock the pressure plate? Did it bounce up or anything?
So
when he did that,
the stone slab that is the pressure plate, it sits at the same height until you push down on it. So you don't really know if
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't
have
seen it move.
Okay.
But
right.
it clicked. The bar itself clicked down.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for the rope and try to swing across.
Okay.
Just acrobatics.
So acrobatics. So the rope won't reach you to the wall part, but you'll have advantage when jumping to the bar.
I'll just jump to the
Okay. And go ahead and do the run with acrobatics.
I got a 20.
Okay, you make it easily across. Now roll advantage to the bar. Now, for those of you at home, I know that normally for jumping and stuff you would use athletics, but in this situation I'm using acrobatics because my vision was them swinging on the bar. So, all right, what'd you get?
I got a 19.
19? Okay, yeah, you don't even need the rope. You grab the bar, and you're at the bar. You can continue that motion and go to the platform if you want to.
Definitely.
Okay. So you swing off and land on the platform. You hear the click, and the wall goes down, and then you hear...
I'm going to run through.
Okay, so you run through. And then after, like 3 seconds after you get through, it goes boom and closes behind you. And you look, go ahead and do a perception check.
I'm in danger.
You're gonna die, Clown.
I got an 8.
That was like
which
in your
is
girl
terrifying.
voice.
You're not gonna be able to see like some of the more intricate parts of this, but you notice on your right there's a bunch of stone balls, a little bit bigger than a bowling ball, and just kind of stacked on the side. And on your left side, right when on the side of the door, there's this big lever just on the left side of the door.
I'm going to go pull the lever.
Okay. You pull the lever down, and all of a sudden, the door comes down. And right where all that empty space was underneath the running wall and the pole and stuff, these big stones come up and slide up to make a perfect pathway.
Lame.
You're welcome.
And all this happens, and I'm still looking.
Yeah, Barb didn't notice a single thing that was happening. He was just going through his pack.
Yeah.
He finally finds something. He looks up. He's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
I'm just leaning against the doorway, just like, yeah.
All
Alright.
right, screw that. I untie
So
my rope and head over there, pick up my crap.
Yeah, Rooster's kind of pissed off. He's untying his rope. Like, damn it. All right. So go ahead into this room. Barb and Rooster, go ahead and make perception checks. And you know what, Zeke, you can make a new perception check since he brought the torch in. It might help.
18.
11.
I got a 15.
Okay. So with the light, it helps a lot. You notice that on the floor, the stone slabs that are right where you're standing are all this light gray, almost whitish color. And then about 4 stones these stones are about 2 by 2 feet by 2 feet. And there's about 4 sets of them before it gets to some black covered tile stones that are also 2 foot by 2 foot. And these go on in this hallway for about 35 feet. And then at the very end, there's this one white stone next to another door.
Are there any symbols on the stones?
Oh, and you also notice the stone balls that I was telling Zeke about. Or not, yes, these
Gotcha.
stone, super smooth balls.
All right.
And on the floor right below you, sorry. On the floor right below you is the symbol on the bottom left that kind of looks like an S.
Okay.
So we've seen the top symbol and we've seen now the bottom left symbol. I run up. This white stone is very intriguing to me.
Whoa, hold up. So you're running up to the white stone?
My plan is to run up and get down on my hands and knees and look at the white stone because I think it's so pretty.
Okay, so
And
you
it's
start
shiny.
Grab him.
So you start running and you get to this black stone, and the black stone falls beneath you. I need you to do a dexterity saving throw. You can, Danny, you can make a dexterity saving throw as well, a regular dexterity throw for you to try and grab him. And yeah, Rooster, you need to make a
15.
dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, I'm also rushing on that.
Okay. I got a 6.
I got
What'd you
a
get, Rooster?
natty 20.
I got a 15.
Okay, so you turn around. Barb's desperately reaching to you, but he wasn't as close to you. And you turn around as the stone falls away and just barely grab the lip. And right as you grab the lip of this drop, Zeke comes in and grabs your wrist and holds you back up.
Don't go for the shiny things, little bird.
So what color was the stone that broke away?
It was black.
It was
So
black,
there's
okay.
35 feet straight down this hallway of this black stone and then a white stone at the very end.
Okay. So then I say, don't stay right there. Don't go anywhere else. And I start grabbing the balls. I'm assuming I can lift those.
Yep. Yeah, they're about as big as a bowling ball, but I mean, you're a freaking giant bugbear.
Yeah.
So
So how big
So
of a
I
gap
start
is there?
rolling them. I start rolling them across the floor
rolling them or
to knock
okay. So
away.
so go ahead and roll a strength check.
Okay. 21.
21. Wow. Okay, so you bowl this super fast.
Oh, wait. I did a wrong one. I did a strength save. Strength check. 22. Sorry.
That's
Yeah.
fair. All right, so
Yeah.
you roll back like you're bowling this like a bowling ball across this floor,
Yeah.
and you throw it super fast. As it hits the black stones are falling away, but it's moving so fast that they're falling away before, and this stone rolls all the way to the white stone and hits the wall, and then kind of settles on the white stone, and then the stone goes click, and the door opens. And then all of a sudden, all of these black stones just kind of flip over and they start turning into white stones. Just completely flipping over. And just all the way back to where you guys are at.
Sweet.
Well done.
So shiny.
And then you hear click, click.
I start booking it.
I start running.
Yep,
Yeah.
we're all freaking moving.
All right, go ahead.
Should we do?
Yeah, athletics check.
Oh
Athletics.
dear, this is not my strong suit. Whew.
16.
14.
I got a 5.
All right, so Zeke.
I get negative
Zeke's
You
two.
have a
lacking behind.
-2 as your modifier?
You guys, you and Barb and Rooster both get through the door, and you immediately notice that there's a handle on the left side of the door. Zeke is a little bit of ways away, and all of a sudden, from the very front where where you first entered that room, they start flipping back to black and are starting to catch up with him.
I pull the lever.
Okay. You pull the lever, and they stop shifting and resort back to white, and the clicking
And the door
clicking stops.
stays
Yeah,
open?
the door stays open.
Okay.
And Zeke comes up. I underestimated you two. Thank you.
Okay, so go ahead and roll perception checks.
21.
I prefer deception.
I prefer deception checks.
I rolled over that one.
That's what you get. Zeke's out.
I rolled a 20.
Zeke's out of breath and just laying against the wall with his head against it, just and like he doesn't
I haven't
notice.
run like that in years.
He doesn't notice anything in this room. So this room that you entered is a little bit different than all the other rooms. For to begin with, it's not a long hallway. It's actually a square room. On the floor directly in front of you, you see the last of the Dwarven symbols, which kind of looks like the number 1. On the left side of the cavern, you notice there's a boulder about 3 feet in diameter, suspended in the air about 15 feet up. And it is suspended by a bunch of colored chains that wrap around it and go into the ceiling. Right below it is a 2-foot tall Dwarven statue, kind of in this Atlas pose, like his head forward and arms up, like he's going to carry something on his back. And directly in front of you, you notice another door that has a bunch of chains going across it that are different colors. And next to this door, you see a pedestal. And on that pedestal, you see a key, which you can't really make out from here. You just know that it's a key. You don't see anything on it because you're not close enough. And on this door with the chains, these chains are a bunch of different colors. You got green, you got orange, yellow, blue, red, purple.
All right, say those colors again.
You got yellow, you got orange, green, blue, purple, red. And those are the colors that you see. And there's a padlock on each of these colored chains that are holding them together.
Is there like an order to these colors, or do I need to know that yet?
I mean, they're so basically they're going from corners of the like just basically spanning the entire door, and they're like just a bunch of them. And the locks. There's one lock on each of these chains.
Are they parallel or perpendicular?
They're kind of crisscrossy all throughout it.
Okay.
And the pedestal with the key on it is next to the door with the chains on it.
Yeah, it's on the right side of the door on yeah.
And there's nothing like in our immediate vicinity.
Nope, just the ball that was on the left side of the chamber and the symbol that was below you.
What color is the floor?
Yeah, so the floor is just that light gray stone. It's kind of like it was when you first came into that last room.
Can I roll a perception check for wall symbols, colors, that sort of thing on the walls?
For symbols on the walls?
Or just colors, any kind of images?
No, so that's
us...
all you see. The rest of the cave walls are just smooth, and yeah, because you rolled really high with your perception, so there's that's literally everything that's in the cave.
And the
Gotcha.
chains on the ball, are those colored or are those
So
normal?
they're colored as well. They kind of form a massive chain that goes up into the ceiling, like
Gotcha.
stranded together.
Gotcha. I tentatively step into the room.
Okay, you step into the room, and all of a
Emphasis
sudden,
on tentatively.
you step right into the room. The floor, all of a sudden, stays the same.
You suck.
All right, so I how far away is where the key is?
It's about 15 feet away from you. It's not
Okay,
it's
so
not a
I
huge
start-
room. It's about 15 feet by 15 feet.
Okay, I start walking that way.
I stop
to
him. I
grab-
put my hand out to stop him. Do you stop, Barb?
Yeah, I start because I respect you a little bit more for like your athletics and stuff and the things that you did to help us through the first.
Alrighty. I pull out of my backpack my rope and I tie it around my waist and hand the other end to Barb.
Cool.
And I kind of make like a yanking motion, like if shiz hits the fan, you pull me out of this crap. And then I start walking towards the pedestal with the key on it.
Okay, you get to the pedestal. You look down at the key, and it's a fairly big key, but it looks like it would fit in these padlocks that are all over these chains. And on the key, you see a storm cloud and a sun behind it, just kind of peeking out, and then like rain coming down the key.
On the key itself?
Yeah, so like on the fat part of the key where you'd hold it with your hand when you're turning it. Yeah.
Okay. I don't touch the key yet. I want to move over and look at the doorway, like the padlocks on the door.
Okay. What are you looking for?
I'm looking to see if there's symbols on them. I'm looking to see if there's anything that like stands out and is different between the padlocks besides their color.
Okay, roll investigation.
14.
14. Okay, so you notice on the chains there's like these little tiny glowing runes. They're really small and really fine, stretched like just running all along the chain, and they're kind of like dimly glowing the same color as the chain itself. So whatever color that chain is.
Are the runes on the padlocks as well, or anything significant about the padlocks themselves?
No, they're the same color as the chain that they're on and everything. So.
Okay. Do they all look to have the same like keyhole? Is
Yes.
there anything I can tell? Okay. After looking at that, I want to come back and look at the statue in the middle.
Okay. So it's just a dwarf with his arms spread kind of like Atlas, just, below it. It looks like it would hold the stone that's above it. Do you want to interact with it, or what are you wanting to do?
Is it made of stone? What is it?
It is made of stone. It's made of that same grayish stone that most of the cave is made of.
The whole thing? There's nothing shiny on it?
Nothing shiny on it.
All right, and then I want to walk over. The ball's hanging from the ceiling, right?
That's correct.
And is it directly over the
It's
Atlas
directly
statue,
over
or...
the Atlas statue.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna come back to Barb and Zeke, and kind of just like shrug my shoulders, like, what do you guys think?
Zeke kind of pulls out his wineskin real quick, takes a sip, and gets up off the floor and, I think we should
Yeah, he just now notices
check out
everything.
that key.
So I'll go ahead and go over and I'm just kind of looking at everything for myself because I didn't see it because Rooster was the only one that had the opportunity to look at it, and I look at the key and the symbol on the key in the cloud and stuff, and kind of my mind started processing. I started thinking that maybe had something to do with rain, maybe had something to do with the chains actually symbolizing a rainbow sort of thing. And then I'll go ahead and pick up the key and examine the back side of the key. Do I find anything on the back side of the key?
Nope. There's nothing else on this key.
All right. And then I kind of just gesture or look to the others to, what's next?
Try pulling it.
Try what?
Try pulling the key.
I already lifted it up.
Oh yeah, maybe we can just.
I want to go over what you said, that I could interact with the statue.
I said I was wondering if you're touching it or anything.
I want to go back up to it and touch it.
Okay. Roll
Where
roll
at?
for touching. No. No, see, go ahead and roll investigation.
3.
Yeah, it's a statue.
Yeah, that's about all you get for that. All right. I kind of wave Zeke to come here, and I say,
Hey, Zeke, why don't you hold on to that statue's hands and put all your weight on it and see if that does anything?
I don't know if you've noticed the large boulder overhanging it that I don't want to meet. Let's maybe try that key out.
okay, so I'm kind of not mad, but just kind of hand him the key that I'm holding and walk over and kind of hang from it to see if it's some sort of a weight switch.
So you're gonna hang on to the
I have
boulder?
enough. Yeah, no, to the hands of the.
So like pulling down on it. It's
Pulling
not,
down.
It's not
I just
super.
wanna see-
Sorry, I probably didn't explain this. It's not a super big statue. It's only about 2 feet tall.
Right.
Whoa.
So I put my weight on it
Okay.
to see if that would trigger something, thinking that if the ball was
Right,
touching
right.
it and the weight of the
So
ball
so
was
you
touching
you
it.
hang on it, and as you do it, you notice that it kind of goes down, and it goes down and just stops at a certain point.
Okay. So yeah. So that was my thought, was that it was some sort of switch. And then I kind of gesture to Zeke.
Hey, Zeke, let's start unlocking the chains.
All right. And the clouds with the rainbow on it, is they any? Are there
There's
any,
not
like...
a rainbow on the clouds. It's a clouds with
Oh,
with
I'm
the
sorry.
sun behind the cloud.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Should I just start anywhere?
Start with your favorite color.
Oh dear. Yeah, I go to red.
Okay. So you stick your key in and unlock the red chain, and it goes chink and opens and falls, like just zips away. And you notice the boulder drops down about 2 feet.
I unlock another one.
Which one?
Blue.
You go and unlock the blue one, and the boulder falls straight down and smashes the statue, just completely obliterates it. And then all of a sudden, the blue and the red chain come back out and reattach. The padlock snaps back together, and the boulder raises back up, and this statue slowly forms back into its normal thing. But you notice above the door a little rune lights up.
Oh. Damn it.
Oh, wait, I got an
Alright.
idea.
So that's gonna be like one of our chances. So I should have
Yeah.
known that it wouldn't be blue, because blue's your favorite color.
I start like
Dungeon
jumping
Master.
up and down because I have an idea.
What, Lassie?
Please, bird. Bird.
I run over. What are the chains in a specific order?
No, they're all crisscrossing.
No, they're all
But the
crisscrossed everywhere.
padlocks.
The padlocks aren't. They're like not really in order. They're just kind of.
So they're not in a line across the door. They're
Nope.
just all over the place. All right.
Yep.
So I go over and I point to the. So what are the colors again? Red, orange, yellow.
Red, orange, yellow, or purple, blue, and green.
Purple, blue, and green. Well, so I go over and I point to the red one, and then I hold up one finger. And then I point to like the orange one, and I hold up 2 fingers. And then to yellow, and I hold up 3. And then to green, and I hold up 4. And then blue 5, and purple 6. And then I like look at you guys and hold my hands out, and I'm like, what do you think? Kind of gesture.
I toss you the key,
Good call.
and I step back away from the door.
I kind
from
of
all
like
the chains.
I put my hand on my head and I'm like, oh man. But I go and I try that order out.
So red, orange, yellow,
Red, orange,
green.
yellow,
blue,
green, blue,
purple.
purple.
All right, so you do the red one, cha-chink, the boulder drops down 2 feet. You try the orange, cha-chink, it drops down 2 feet. You try the yellow, and it drops down 2 more feet. So right now, it's about 4 or 5 feet. It's about 5 feet above it. You do the green, it drops down another 2 feet. You do the blue, and it comes down 2 feet. And then you do the purple, and it rests gently onto the statue. And the weight of it slowly brings the statue to a level point, and then you hear cha-chink, and the door falls down.
Is there?
I look just like puzzled that he would have came up with. I'm like wondering how did he come up with that order, and just kind of scratching my head as I walk through the doorway.
Okay, so you go into this next room. It's about the same size as the room you were just in, but there's an altar on the table, and on the wall is this big symbol again, just on the wall in front of you, and then this altar in the center of the room, and on this altar there's a dagger laid out, a blue cloak. It's almost like a navy blue, but a little bit grayer in color, and then some dark clothes that look like they'd fit a dwarf, and then on the right of that is a medallion.
I proceed forward and grab the dagger.
Okay, so you pick up this dagger. It's a really elegant dagger, and on the hilt of it, like on the pommel part, you notice, or go ahead and do an investigation check.
0.
A literal 0?
A nat 1 and a
Oh
minus
my
1
gosh.
to investigate.
Yeah, it's a dagger. It's a pretty dagger.
Yeah, I'm just mesmerized.
Yeah, you're
by
just
it. I love
mesmerized by this
beautiful
dagger.
because it kind of reminds me of my greatsword in that it's a very beautiful, not only functional tool but piece of artwork. So I just wander off in a corner and I'm just looking at it.
My precious.
Exactly.
What are Rooster and Zeke doing?
I'm gonna.
Go ahead, Zeke.
Okay, I'm gonna walk in and kind of look at each of them and kind of pick up the medallion and pick up the gloves in the other hand and kind of.
There's no gloves. It's dark clothes. Yeah, just it's like
clothes.
like a.
I thought you said
it's like
gloves.
a darker outfit. It's not quite as light as the blue cloak is. It's like a blackish gray, kind of tighter uniform.
And I'm gonna hold them both out.
Okay. The medallion you notice has that same symbol on it. It's a gold medallion, about 3 inches in diameter, with this triangle symbol on it, with the same runes and everything. And so it's a gold medallion, and the symbol itself is etched with some platinum.
Oh wow. I'm gonna hold them both out to Hungry Rooster and see if he wants to take one.
Dude, I run for that shiny medallion.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're an idiot.
Okay, I'll let him take it.
Okay.
I'm just like looking over it, clicking
The
on it.
cloak is the will only fit Rooster, and you.
It's fine.
So the cloak's bigger. Like, it's not super small, but it's dwarfs are kind of big headed and everything, so the cloak has to be a decent size. This cloak would probably drape down to like a dwarf's ankles.
Oh, okay, so it'd be big, but for me it'd be a little bit.
Yeah,
shorter.
so if you wore it, it'd probably come down to like
Be like a sports
the
jacket.
top of your thighs or something. But dwarfs are pretty big chested and everything, so it'd have to be. It's kind of big in itself, just not
I'm
crazy.
sorry, I'm just getting like this image in my head of this evil tiefling robbing Frodo Baggins of his elven cloak and wearing it the rest of his life.
Down.
Yeah, Barb's over in the corner with Sting going, "My precious."
Oh my gosh.
No, okay. So, yeah. Did you pick up the cloak, or did you just pick up the?
Yeah, I picked up the cloak.
Okay, go ahead and do an Arcana check.
Okay. I got a 15.
Okay, so with a 15, you are going to understand what this cloak does. This cloak is a special cloak, and it has one charge, and with that one charge, it does invisibility spell. This one spell can be used. This one charge can be used after the charge is used. At the end of the day, you roll a d20, and if you get DC 15 or higher, you regain that charge. You can only have a maximum of one charge, so you won't be able to do it like twice in a day, that type of thing.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna.
But this
look over
does take
to,
attunement, so it'll have to be a long rest before you'll gain this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look over to Hungry Rooster, who's I'm sure hovering over this medallion. I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna go over and kind of explain what it does, and I'm gonna put 10 gold into the pocket of it and hand it towards him and offer my hand out.
Like a trade for the medallion?
Yep. I'm gonna attempt.
I take the cloak and walk to the other side of the room.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't understand it. Just he thought it was a gift.
I cast thaumaturgy and flames conjure up in my hand.
I'm not even looking at
with
you.
one finger just... Oh my gosh. I put out his torch.
All right, Rooster cannot see anymore.
So now there's not a torch, but you have flames in your hand, so I can still see.
I put them
Oh, okay.
I pee on his hands.
Oh my gosh. No, bad barb.
Oh, jeez. All right,
Oh crap!
I set down. I put the medallion and the cloak in my other hand, and I reach into my pack and grab out another torch, or light my torch that I already had. And
Okay.
I turn around and I'm like trying to figure out what the crap happened.
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
just gonna keep snuffing it out.
I was gonna say, let it go, Zeke. Let it go.
Nope. Zeke's bitter.
All right, so I'm gonna start looking at the symbol on the wall, seeing if there's any sort of. I guess I should roll perception to see if there's any buttons or anything like that.
Roll
Jake, are you
investigation.
Hey, do they all have to roll
I
with
got
disadvantage because they're in the dark now?
No, they
I
have.
got
No,
they
we
have
can
dark-
see.
Yeah, so I rolled a 20.
Okay. Yeah, there's no more buttons. You are able to kind of write down on some scrap paper you have in your notebook in your little pack, and you kind of write
Mhm.
down the symbol and just stick it away.
Okay. All right. So I just kind of start walking out. I
Okay.
figure the adventure's done.
I'm gonna follow him out, and I'm just gonna keep putting out the torch as I'm walking.
Still don't know what's going
All
on.
right, Rooster, go ahead and roll dexterity. I'll see if you can get out of here.
Alrighty.
No, I'm just gonna put it out every once in a while, just so it's
Oh, okay.
inconvenient.
Just
I
so it's-
want him to get out.
All right. So Barb,
Just
you
so
get
it's
to the
frustrating.
front of the cave, and you're sitting there waiting because it's taken Rooster exceptionally long, and Zeke's kind of following with him. And you'll see this flame light up and take just on and off, all the way through the cavern.
So does my do I get any sort of inkling on any sort of powers that this little dagger has, or is it just like a beautiful weapon?
So you rolled such crappy investigation. You don't notice anything else about it.
Okay.
But I mean, you
Okay.
can have other people look at it if you want. I wouldn't give it to
Okay.
Rooster. He might just keep it.
No, I'm definitely not giving it to Rooster.
I'll look at that for you if you'd like.
No. I just
All
put
right.
it.
All right.
I take out my old one and hand it to him and keep the new one.
Oh no, I'm not interested. Just wanted to
Okay.
help.
I put the old one in my pack and keep the new one on my hip.
Okay.
All right. So we need to talk about whether or not we're going to let anybody know that we found anything, or if we're going to try to keep this a secret.
It wasn't the obelisk, so I don't see any need.
Right. So do we all agree on that? I mean, I do. Mr. Bird, do you agree on that? Except if you're wearing that cloak, it probably... Do you agree?
Sure. We're just keeping it a secret from everyone?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything.
Okay. Man, it took a long time to get that out of me.
I just nod. There you go.
All right. So everybody understands. Okay, so we just head back and join the entourage.
Okay. So you join back up. Did you find anything of interest?
Just a series of caves. Nothing too interesting.
I hope you didn't get lost in those caves. It took you a while.
Well, the bird kept putting out his torch. It was a bit of a cluster.
Yes, I can't imagine he's very good in the dark.
I just shrugged my shoulders.
No, and Bugger kept putting out the torch. I don't know why.
Do what? Did you say I kept putting out the torch?
No, I said the bugger kept putting out the torch. I don't know why. I'm blaming.
It does sound like Bugbear.
That Rooster did
I
it.
heard.
Sorry,
Exactly. The bugbear kept putting out the light.
Okay. The bugger.
The bugger.
That sounds like the F word for a
bugger. That's like a very insulting term.
Yeah.
And Barb kind of
That's like saying your mama's a whore. Bugbear. Your mama's a bugger.
Okay then, shall we continue our journey?
Please.
Let's continue.
Okay. So you guys head the rest of the way up. You get to the top of the mountain. And now, mountains usually peak, but this one is actually a flat plateau. And basically, it's very mingled with these gray and black stone. Some from the Carceri plain and some from Evrion. Also, you notice that there are a bunch of jagged cuts within the rock. Some where that ravine, where that little canyon where the other parties went into, there's points where it's about 10 feet wide, and there's points where it's like only 6 inches wide. But these cracks go all around it and kind of maze and surround the top of this area. But it is getting dark, and so Zane recommends that we stop and camp for the night. And so you guys all get ready to, bed down and continue the search in the morning. Does anyone plan on doing anything? Because this will be considered a long rest.
Yes, I do. Ezekiel is going to snatch the medallion and use prestidigitation to replace it. If
all right, do a sleight of hand roll.
Looks.
So I have this medallion on me in my personal stash.
Ah, frick.
Right, he's gonna try and steal it out of your personal stash.
Okay.
Where is it located? Like, would I know that probably or no?
I don't know. Go ahead and roll perception to see if you saw where he stashed it.
He didn't even know he took it.
No, he knows he has the medallion.
I only roll a 9, so I probably don't know where
it's
at.
Yeah, you don't know where he put it.
I'm gonna make another attempt at making some carrot soup. I didn't bring my whole entire cooking setup, obviously, but I brought my little mess kit and the ingredients that I knew were needed for carrot soup to.
Now you can add
to make
ginger.
that. No, I'm following the recipe. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So are you doing this first thing at night, or are you planning on doing this after you sleep?
I've set up my sleeping area, and then I am going to cook and kind of make that for dinner.
So you're gonna take like the first watch
Sure.
for night? Okay.
Are we not eating
All right. So I use.
before we go to bed? Because I don't know about the rest of
I
that,
mean, yeah,
but
if you guys
Rooster
wanna eat,
needs
like-
a meal, 3 square meals a day, or he gets upset.
Okay. Okay. So it's getting dark. So yeah, it's basically dark by the time you guys are getting set up, and you're going to so are you wanting everyone to stay awake until you finish dinner and then give them dinner and then go to bed?
Cooking. I'm not like, if they smell it and they want some, then they can come and get it.
Okay. Are you guys planning on staying up, or are you guys just eat some rations out of your pack and go to sleep?
Yeah, I'm staying awake. I want to get that medallion.
Okay.
If possible.
I was sound asleep, but after I smelled the cooking,
You start to wake up. Okay.
I couldn't
So
resist.
he's been working on this for about 45 minutes. Everyone go ahead and roll perception checks.
7.
You want me to roll
7.
perception as well?
Yep.
4.
Crap.
Okay. All right.
Uh-oh.
So all of a sudden, you guys hear, and people come charging out. These guys in purple, like grayish robes come flying out from the brush nearby as they have successfully snuck up on you with your terrible perception rolls and are going to attack you. There are 6 of them. They are going to get some surprise attacks on you. 2 of them of these men in robes come charging at Zane, and they are going to attack him. The first one attacks and misses. The second one attacks and hits and does some damage.
They're attacking Zane.
Yeah, they're attacking Zane. So Zane gets up all stumbly, and the first sword comes in, and he's able to block with his sword, but the other one was swinging at the same time and kind of clips him on the side and does 7 points of slashing damage to Zane. And let's go ahead and have the other 2. One is going to attack. One's going to attack Barb. One's going to attack Zeke, and the other 2 are going to attack Rooster because he's standing next to the fire and they saw him the best. All right.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Barb does a 17 hit.
Yes.
All right, 4 points of damage. And Zeke.
No, it does not.
Rooster does a 11 hit.
No.
How about 21?
Yes.
All right, 3 points of damage. All right, everyone go ahead and roll initiative. All right. So first, 20. Let's go ahead and do 20 through 15. Did anyone get 20 through 15?
I got 15.
Okay, 15 through 10.
I'm 15 through 10. So is Garrett.
What'd you get?
Yeah,
I got 14.
I got a 12.
You got 12.
Correct.
All right, so the first one up is going to be one of the cultists next to Zane. He's going to go ahead and take a swing at Zane. And he goes ahead and swings and just clips Zane right on the arm and does 2 slashing damage to Zane. That will bring us to Zeke.
Okay. How many people can I get into a 15-foot cone?
All right, so basically they had you surrounded and came in. So basically you had Zeke on your right, or not Zeke, sorry. You had Zane and Christiana on your right side, and then you were sitting on the left side of the fire. Rooster would be sitting on just on what we would consider like above the fire in this area. If you're on the left side of this camp pit, he'd be north of it, and then Barb is just south of it. So you would be able to probably get about 2 of them if you go either like down towards Barb's guy or up towards Zane's guy.
I'm gonna go down towards Barb's guy, and I'm gonna.
Oh wait, sorry. You could get 3 because you could hit both the guys that Roosters are getting and your guy.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna walk forward. Some flames gonna start crackling between my hands, and I am going to cast Burning Hands.
Okay.
And they need to roll a DC 14.
Dexterity.
Yes. Sorry.
1 One got an 18, one got an 8, one got a 19. So one of them failed.
Okay. Half as much for the successful ones for the 2.
Okay, so half as much. How much damage total?
It was 6, and then for the ones who were successful,
they
only
3.
get 3. Yep.
Okay. So for one of them, he's seriously burned. His start of his skin starts to crackle along his face where you hit him with this blast, and the other 2 are just got some little burn wounds up their arms.
Okay, and I'm gonna back up and get by Barb.
All right. Next is Barb. Barb is next on the list.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out my blowgun with my special sleeping dart,
Okay.
and I'm gonna shoot one of them in the neck. Hopefully,
Okay.
I'm gonna attempt to.
You're gonna have disadvantage. Who are you? Which one are you shooting? The one next to you, or?
I think the one next to me was one of them, the one with 18 or 19 or whatever. They're alive or badly burnt.
No. So he shot the one next to a rooster because he could get the 2 that were next to rooster.
Oh, okay. I guess the one next to me.
So you're gonna have disadvantage on ranged attacks when they're engaged with you.
Okay.
So if you want to use that or your sword, it's up to you.
I want to use my sword.
Okay. So you unsheath your black sword that glistens in the moonlight. Go ahead and take your attack.
21.
21. Okay. How much damage?
10.
Finish him. How do you do it?
All right. So I pull out my sword, and as I twist it into the light of the fire, a glimmering, shimmering, beautiful strand of the gold accent in the handle glimmers, and I do a sweeping motion strike and lop off the dude's head.
You cut straight through this purple fabric and this guy's head, and it just falls to the ground, dead. Anyway, that will bring us to Zane. So Zane has these 2 guys right next to him, and he's going to go ahead and make his first attack. And so Zane swings with his first attack and slices straight down from his shoulder all the way to his hip and just cuts this guy right in half with his long sword. And then he looks over at the next guy and takes a swing and does the exact same thing. Just cleaves these guys in half.
Holy
2 down.
Woot.
Nice.
Yep.
That's all of them, right?
No. So the 2 that are next to Rooster are still alive, and the one next to Zane is still alive. They didn't get burnt. They didn't get burnt to death. They just got burns.
Ah, gotcha.
But that will take us to the first one of these guys that is next to Rooster is going to take his attack on Rooster.
Okay.
Does an 18 hit?
Yes.
2 points of damage, slashing. And then the next one is the one next to Zeke, who's going to attack Zeke. 21 to hit.
Yeah, that'll
4
hit.
points of damage.
Oh, man. All right.
And that will take us to Rooster's turn.
Alrighty. So, I don't have my quarterstaff right on me because I was cooking, but I grabbed my my cooking knife that I was using, and there are 2 guys next to me. Is that correct?
Yep.
And one of them is more damaged than the other.
No, so they're both. Those are the 2 that were further away. Okay. So basically, when Zeke did his fire thing, he did more damage to the guy right next to him, and then a little bit less damage. So
Gotcha.
those 2 got 3 points of damage, fire damage each.
Okay, I go to stab the guy closest to me with this this dagger.
A what dagger?
With the cutting knife that I was using.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to just roll as if I was fighting with the dagger, or how do you want me to do that?
So
Okay.
if you're not making an unarmed attack, then yeah, you'd roll with the dagger.
A 23 to hit.
That hits. Damage?
And 4 damage.
4 damage. Okay. Yeah, this guy looks seriously hurt.
I'm going to do Fury of Blows to make 2 unarmed strikes on the guy next to him.
Okay.
A 14.
A 14 just hits.
And that's 7 bludgeoning damage.
So you like swing up, palm forward, and break this guy's nose, and it goes right back into his brain, and he drops dead.
Okay. So I guess I'll go back to the other guy that I stabbed with the knife.
Yep.
And do my other unarmed attack. 14 for 5 damage.
Rooster, finish him.
How am I going to do this? After I punch this or palm this guy in the nose through the brain, I kind of jump up onto his shoulder and jump off of him as he falls to the ground, or as he's shoved to the ground by my jump. And I leap up into the air and just punch this guy straight in the neck. And as he goes flying back, breaks his neck, I just grab my dagger and he flies off of it, and then I wipe it on my cloak.
Nice. All right, so we are down to the last guy, and it is actually his turn. He's going to take his attack on Zeke since he's right next to Zeke. And he rolls a nat 1. So he swings at you and just kind of like stumbles and falls. He falls down prone. And that will take us to Christiana. Oh man, Christiana's first combat. You ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
She's going to actually cast Cure Wounds on Rooster.
Sweet.
Since Rooster seemed to get his butt kicked most of the time. And she does 5 points of healing. And that will be her turn. And that takes us to the top. That'll be back to Zeke.
Okay, this guy next to me, I'm going to walk over him. Some black crackling energy is going to form in my hand, and I'm just going to shoot him straight in the head with Eldritch Blast. And I'm probably miss. It was an 8
Yeah.
to hit.
So he swung, and when he swung and missed and fell downwards, you like shot, and it just went whoom, like way over his head.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to back away.
Okay. It's Barb's turn.
How close am I to?
You'll be able to get over there with your movement.
Okay. So,
He's like 15 feet away from you.
Pull out my javelin and run towards him and throw my javelin at him.
Are you running towards him and then throwing your javelin, or are you just throwing your javelin at him? Because if you...
No, I'm running toward...
Because if you engage him, you'll have disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm going to just throw
Okay,
my
so
javelin.
you're just going to stay where you are and throw.
am.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
24.
24. How much damage?
7.
Finish him.
Okay. So, I pull out my javelin and just lean back like an Olympic athlete almost, and just chuck it just as hard as I can. And you can see the veins and stuff in my neck bulging as I throw it. And the javelin starts flying. It's just crisp, clear, beautiful, like a throw from Joe Montana to Jerry Rice.
That is beautiful.
And it hits him right in the neck and just flies right through his neck and hits a tree behind him, and blood just gushes from his neck as he falls to the ground.
Okay. And you are now out of combat. Christiana goes over to Zane and they start talking, and yeah, you guys are a little bit away from them, so you don't hear exactly what they're talking about.
I'm going to walk over.
Okay. You're Christiana. What are they doing here? They weren't supposed to be here. And Zane's like, I don't know. Clearly we have misinformation.
And I believe you have some explaining.
Zane goes over to some of the dead bodies and starts looking at them and stuff. And he you notice that as he's looking at him, he's just looking at their faces and going back and forth. And he gets the last one, looks at his face, and then he kind of looks up and he's like, "There are no marked ones with him."
So I just start scrummaging through their stuff on their bodies.
Okay. Go ahead and roll investigation.
Rolled an 8.
Roll an 8. Okay. Yeah, you find like a few pieces of copper, probably like 5 pieces of copper total. They weren't holding a lot, and they were using scimitars, just little curved blades. But your sword's better than what the scimitar is. So
Yeah. So I just take the copper.
Yep. Do you think this was just a little bit of them, or do you think there are more of them scattered throughout the canyon? We have to warn the others if this is true. Well, we won't be able to get to them tonight. We're going to be more likely to run into another band if there are others. And you could tell that Zane's just kind of like furious, just not sure what to do.
If they're worth it.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
I just walked up and
Who are those guys?
Well, you've heard of the marked ones, no?
No.
These are followers of the marked ones. It is an ancient cult that sought destruction. They are the ones responsible for the convergence. The marked ones were not supposed to have known this location. We just recently discovered of its location. We've come. But unfortunately, it looks like we're not the only ones.
I pull the javelin out of the tree and rub it around in the grass, cleaning off the blood, and put it back in my bag.
Well, I think it might be best that we keep moving.
Agreed. We cannot stay here tonight.
People.
I think we should find a more defensible position and then rest.
Can I hear this?
I think so.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, I didn't even stop cooking for this battle.
Okay.
I'm standing there fighting over this cauldron. Left it for a second, not a cauldron, whatever mess kit thing I had there, but fought them for a second and then jumped right back into my carrot soup. So as soon as I hear you guys say we need to leave, I start clanging on my pot and shaking my head no, I'm so close. I got it this time.
So by the time everyone would break up camp, you could probably have it finished. Because everyone had laid out their bedrolls and whatnot. So Zane's going around and he's packing up and helping Christiana pack up. Go ahead and roll your performance check. Or did you say you have cooking utensils to roll?
Yeah, I have cook's utensils.
Let's go ahead and do that for your cooking stuff then. Let's do.
All right. So I actually rolled this before the battle started. Can I use that result?
No, because the battle kind of distracted you.
All right. Let me re-roll this. Still using charisma, correct?
Yes.
For the confidence attribute of that? Okay.
Yep.
What did I get? 17.
Nice.
17?
Yeah.
Okay. So I believe that was the new... Yeah. So you have now mastered carrot soup. And it is as good as it's ever going to get.
Oh my gosh, it's delicious.
All right. So as I master this and I taste it, I'm just so ecstatic. And so I make I got all these cups in my mess kit, and so I ladle carrot soup into these cups.
Yes.
And as everybody's packing up, I just run around and hand everybody a cup to kind of,
So what happened is you were cooking it, and then
the
the attack happened, and you were able to, it had to sit there and simmer while you were doing this battle, and it simmered a little bit longer than you had intended or the recipe called for, but you found that by letting it simmer that little bit extra, the carrots were a little less firm and a little bit, better and just a lot tastier on the palate. So you kind of write that down in your little cookbook, and you now have mastered one recipe. Everyone breaks up camp, and you guys begin on the move. Now, it's super dark, and no one wants to light any torches, so you guys are mostly using dark vision, and you get about, several hundred yards away from where you were, a good distance away so that they wouldn't be able to find you again. Zane believes that the reason they were able to find you is because of the campfire, obviously, But he also didn't think that, they were under danger, so he didn't see any harm in the cooking. So he doesn't blame Rooster for it or anything like that. But you finally find a spot on the western edge of this space where the mountains kind of go up, and they go up to these peaking points in the higher mountains, and you guys are able to get your backs to this mountain wall. That way you have a little bit better of a defensible position before you camp down for the night. You all are taking shifts throughout the night, but you're all able to get the 6 hours of sleep and get in a long rest. So if you are wounded or have anything spell slots spent, go ahead and recover those now. And this is actually where we'll end for tonight. Our heroes have survived another episode and solved the puzzles of the Dwarven Trials. However, a new enemy has shown its face. Will the heroes be able to figure out what exactly is going on in the Blackstone Mountains? Find out next time on episode 3 of Not So Super Dungeon Bros. Thank you. We love you. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the show.
And if you did, leave us a 5-star review on iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast.
We'd also love to hear some of your feedback and comments, and we got a few ways for you to do that.
For example, jump right into Twitter and go ahead and follow us. Our handle is at NSSDBros, or hit us up with our hashtag NSSDBros.
And if you need another way to get in touch with us, check out our website at NSSDBros.com.
And be sure to follow and subscribe to see what other trouble our dungeon duds get into on the next
Not
So
So
Super
Dungeon
Bros.
Dude, you guys are all dumb.